So, in Meghalaya, the government rolled out a program that on the surface sounded like a fantastic idea. The promise was simple and powerful. Help poor farmers get out of poverty by giving them livestock, a real asset to build a life on. But what happens when that promise turns into a complete nightmare?
Right. Let's just sit with that for a second, because that's the really chilling question at the heart of what we're digging into today. Imagine you sign up for a program that's supposed to be your ladder up, only to find out it's actually a trapdoor that drops you deeper into debt. We're going to break down exactly how this whole thing went so wrong. Okay, so on paper, the idea was solid. I mean, it makes sense, right? The government's livestock scheme was meant to give farmers a real, tangible asset. Pigs, goats, you name it. Something they could actually use to build a sustainable living. It was supposed to be a ticket to a better life. But this is where the dream just completely falls apart. A farmer does everything right. They take out a bank loan, just like the scheme says. They wait for their livestock to arrive. But then, one of two things happens. Either the animals just never show up, or they arrive so sick and diseased that they die within a few weeks. The asset is gone before it ever had a chance to make a single rupee.
And this is the trap right here. The bank? They don't care if the animals are dead or if they were ghosts to begin with. The paperwork was signed, the money went out, the bottom line is this. The farmer is now on the hook, legally responsible for a debt on an asset that has literally vanished into thin air.
So what do you do in that situation? Well, you try to find justice, of course. But as we're about to see, the system isn't just broken. No, it feels like this deliberately constructed labyrinth designed to make you run in circles until you just give up. Let's follow what we'll call the complaint journey. This is the path a farmer who's been scammed has to walk. They're knocking on door after door, just trying to find one person, anyone who will actually listen and help them out of this impossible mess.
And just look at this path. It's not one or two stops. We're talking 7 distinct, exhausting, soul-crushing attempts to get someone to do something. From local officers to the bank, to the Lokayuta, that's the state's anti-corruption agency, and finally, all the way to the courts. Each step is just another brick wall.
All right, let's walk through this. First stop, the veterinary officer. And here's the cruel irony. This is the exact same person who signed off on the paperwork saying the livestock was delivered and in perfect health in the first place. You can already see where this is going, can't you? And yup, the response is as predictable as it is infuriating. The livestock was fine at delivery, the problem must be your care. Just like that, the blame is flipped. The victim is now the one at fault, the system protects itself, and the complaint is dead on arrival. Okay, so after hitting a few more of those brick walls, the farmer tries the bank manager. You'd hope that the people holding your debt might show a little understanding, right? I mean, their money financed this disaster. But you'd be wrong. The bank's position is brutally simple. We need our money back. The assets were certified delivered. For them, the farmer's reality doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the signature on the loan agreement. So after every other door has been slammed in your face, there's one last hope, the court system. This is supposed to be the place where justice prevails, the ultimate safety net. But for these farmers, it's just the final, most impossible hurdle. And when you look at the numbers, you see why. Legal fees can run you up to 50,000 rupees. The case could drag on for 3 to 7 years. And all of this is to fight a loan that's maybe 1 or 2 lakh rupees. For a farmer who's already trapped in debt, this isn't a path to justice. It's a guarantee of financial ruin. So when you put all these pieces together, you arrive at this really devastating conclusion. This isn't just about a few bad apples or some bad luck. The evidence suggests we're looking at an entire system that seems intentionally designed to prevent accountability and to fail the very people it's supposed to help. And how do we know this? Well, get this. A study that tracked these complaints came back with a shocking prediction. For every 100 people who try to fight back, fewer than 5 will ever get any kind of meaningful justice. 95% of the time, the complaint just vanishes, swallowed by the system. So why is it so bad? Well, the source breaks it down into 4 harsh truths. First, the complaint process is often run by the very people involved in the scam. Second, even the honest officials in the chain often have no real power to fix things. Third, as we saw, getting real justice costs time and money the victims just don't have. And finally, while any investigation takes forever, the bank is coming for its money right now.
And all of this leads to the central thesis of this whole analysis, which is just so powerful. A system that holds poor farmers accountable for debts but holds officials zero accountable for services is not a development program. It's an oppression mechanism.
Okay, so if the real system is this complete nightmare, what would a fair and just system actually look like? Well, as it turns out, the answer is surprisingly straightforward.
I mean, look at the difference here. Instead of a complaint going into a black hole, you'd have an independent investigation that has to be done in 60 days. Instead of the bank breathing down your neck, loan recovery is immediately put on hold. And if it's proven to be a scam, the loan gets wiped out and the people responsible actually face consequences. It's really just basic accountability.
But since that simple, just system doesn't exist in Meghalaya, what can the victims actually do? They're forced to create their own path to justice, completely outside of the official, broken channels. So the real fight, according to the source, has to happen outside the system. It starts with documenting every single thing. Then it means banding together, forming associations, because there's power in numbers. From there, it's about using tools like public interest litigation and, maybe most importantly, using media pressure to shine a massive spotlight on the rot and force a response that those official complaint forms never will. And all of this leaves us with one final and I think really important question. When a system that was designed to help people ends up crushing them instead, who is responsible for tearing that system down and rebuilding it from scratch?